I think that NX. Yeah, that's actually silly for me to answer because I have no idea who NMX Masa is. I've never really seen any games of him. He might be well known in the Korean weeklies, or maybe he used to play Code A or Code B, but I can't remember anything regarding him, Ben, so making a prediction seems kind of useless because I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen.
What can you tell us about Forsen?
We can say that he's a high-tempered Swedish Zerg player who is pretty notorious in the European scene. Some people like him. For instance, I believe he's pretty good friends with Torzane. But I also know quite a few people that dislike him. He kind of has a no-care attitude. He just does what he wants. And I do know that beyond all that, he's a pretty good player. He had some success in European weekly tournaments. He made a couple of deep runs. He is right now playing in the DreamHack tournament. I believe he's in the same group as Naniwa, but I'm not 100% sure about that, but I believe he is, so that means that he's already in the second group stage. Naniwa. So yeah, that's pretty much all I know. I mean, I would know more about Forsen's PvZ, but it doesn't really make a lot of sense to talk about that right now, because I played quite a bit against Forsen back in the days, when I was still in Europe, trying to conquer the European ladder ban.
And those games always went well?
No, not really.
They're always very friendly?
Nope, neither. Well, I don't think that's a very important issue.
Neither here nor there, Kev.
No.
Masa is going to go for the, looks like Gases 1-Rack's fast expand, whereas Forsen is going to go for the hatch first, as is, of course, the norm in the matchup. Which also means that there's not a whole hell of a lot that we can talk about just yet, because this is the most normal openings that you could ever hope to see.
Well, we can talk about the spawning locations. I don't think that Masa is too unsatisfied with these, even though I guess he would have preferred to spawn at the left top. That would have made his life even better. That's not going to happen. We see him dropping the command center right now. So how do you think Masa is going to follow this up? And do you think it's an impossible... Wow, he dropped pretty good grass here, by the way. Do you think it's impossible to call because we don't know much about him? Or would you say, well, maybe the Hellion Banshee style?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like you said, it's a tough prediction when you don't know much about the player himself. He's going to go ahead and throw down the second gas. I think most typically it's going to be some sort of barracks follow-up with upgrades and medevacs, as is kind of the norm these days. I mean, it's always safe to bet the standard. What I'm more eager about is is how Forsen decides to play his mid game, because I feel like a broken record over here, but Terrans have just not been building tanks recently. And we're starting to see more and more Baneling play in these games as a result of that. And so will Forsen do something like that, or will we see something else?
I think I casted quite a few of Forsen's TVZs back in the day, so ZVT of course, since he's the Zerg player, but that's already quite a while ago, so I don't think that's really relevant anymore. If you take a look at the Korean Terran players main base right now, we see him already dropping the reactor ban on the barracks, so it seems like he's at least going with a Hellion opening. He's mining from double refinery right now, but he's only having a single SCV on both of those refineries, so I don't think we're going to see Hellions and Banshees, but we are definitely going to see Hellions.
You are, of course, completely correct, Kev. No third command center just yet from Masa, but he is saving up a lot of money. Of course, he's going to use some of that on those Hellions when he starts to produce them, but I think we might be seeing a triple orbital.
Well, Zerg is already a Hellion worksman, so it wouldn't be the worst call. He doesn't have a lot of minerals. Normally when Terran wants to do that, you already see them. Oh, okay, there you go. Right? Where is it? Where is he building it? Am I crazy?
No, he's... Oh, whoa!
Whoa, that's so sick.
I was doing the same thing as you. I was like, what the hell is going on? I see it on the production tab.
So Super Ninja expand over here on the north side of the map, and I actually don't think that's the craziest idea, man. Why not drop a couple of mules there and see how long you can keep it alive? Certainly when Zerg is going to play Zergling Infestor anyway, if they don't have Mudas, even when this base gets spotted, you might even be able to keep it alive. Just float it over to the other side of the map.
This base is never going to get scouted. I mean, there's just the likelihood of Forsen sending anything out and seeing that is slim to none, man. Maybe, you know, 13, 14 minutes into the game when it's sort of picking up and both guys have a lot of units, he'll spread out some Overlords or some Zerglings just to see other expansions, but it is very, very unlikely that that he'll spot this, I guess, unless Masa sends a bunch of SCVs up there.
Takes out the first creep tumor with these two Hellions. That's not too bad, but nowadays Zerg always have additional queens. You remember back in the days, man, when we always said like, yeah, Red was really, Red is really one of the few players who goes for a quick third queen. He always does that, and it seems to be pretty good because he gets really good creep spread. And now, of course, it's a norm. If someone doesn't have 3 queens by now, you're kind of wondering what he does, what he's doing, and if he doesn't like creep spread. And then again, man, who doesn't like creep spread if you're Zerg?
Everybody likes creep spread, man. Even non-Zergs.
No, I don't like creep spread.
Oh, you're lying.
No, I don't.
Okay, last time I saw you play Zerg, you said one thing.
Yeah.
Ben, watch me play. I'm really good at spreading creep.
Yes.
Those were your words.
If I play Zerg, not if I play Protoss. We see Forsen is 16 workers ahead right now, but Masa is going to be on triple orbital right now. And straight away he's going to drop these mules over here on the north side of the map. What?
It was funny.
Because I tried to call it. Tried to time it perfectly.
It was just funny.
I just felt it, man.
Triple orbital right.
Hero Zergling by Forsen over here. Our Swedish Zerg's gonna get a really good scout off. He's gonna spot both the engineering base, gonna see the factory, he's gonna see all these Rexes going up as well, and he's gonna see the starport.
Man, what's going through his head right now? Is he thinking to himself, there's 400 unaccountable, or there's 400 minerals unaccounted for, or is he thinking to himself, this is gonna be a 2-base push? Like, what do you think when you see this?
I think that's almost impossible in this phase. If you would have done it a little bit earlier, then I would say yes, unless he really nailed down his timings and he knows when the reactor should be on that starport. And if he feels that it's a little bit later, then he might be able to do it. But I guess the fact that he spots double engineering base, like maybe the guy's just upgrading a lot of stuff, and that's why his metavacs are a little bit later. I'd be very surprised if Forsen is able to put the pieces together just by what he saw with that single Zergling.
Forsen is playing Infester Zergling, which has been kind of...
Take out the drone. Yes, he does. Nice move right there by Masa.
Hellions being controlled pretty well, but I think they're doomed to a short life, Kev, as they do get completely surrounded and chomped to bits.
I think this looks kind of funny, Ben. If you take a look at Forsen's view of the minimap, he literally scouted every single base besides this one.
Wow, that's pretty brutal.
Oh, I see a Zergling, Ben.
I think they're just going to the towers.
Yep. Another Zergling going to the right top side of the map.
Man, this is such... That's unfortunate for Forsen.
I've got a weird buzz in my ear, by the way.
Me too. It sounds like we're playing Ninja Gaiden or something. It's like a regular Nintendo game.
Well, it feels like we're like driving an airplane or flying an airplane. We're sitting in the cockpit. I always wanted to be a fighter pilot, man.
I was in a previous life. Small push coming out here from Masa, double medevac, Marine Marauder, very standard push. Forsen's got more than enough to deal with it. And Masa should...
yeah, Forsen might actually start to worry, wonder a little bit later. I was like, what is he actually doing with these amount of Marines on the map? Like, I can't possibly be afraid of that. Even without Infestors, I'm going to be more than just fine. He might be worried about medevacs somewhere else on the map. We see all these Zerglings swarming in right now. He's going to have to pick up all those medevacs. Oh, he's actually going to end up losing that Marauder and the Marine. A little bit sloppy right there.
Given the fact that Forsen's made so many Zerglings, I think it's pretty evident that he interpreted what he saw with that Ling as a 2-base all-in, or a 2-base push, 2-base timing of some sort. Now, like you said, he has to realize that something fishy is up.
He's going to try to go for a really big run-by, and he will be able to go for the run-by.
Masa!
But there is a bunker ban. There are a lot of SCVs, but he's going to lose a lot of that.
Masa. He's going to do so much damage here.
Well, this is nice. I love the whole position on those SCVs, but still. He took out the siege tank, took out quite a few of Marines, and the Terran is losing a lot of mining time. Normally, this should cripple him.
Actually, that's not that bad, because Forsen lost all the Lings.
Exactly. Like I think normally, Ben, this would have been good. Normally, this would have crippled the Terran quite a bit, because if he's only on 2 base and he loses so much mining time, loses those SCVs, but of course, he's been mining all the time. And how often don't I say, how awesome is it if you have a ninja base, you want to drop all the mules there, and that's just what this Terran player is doing. I think it's so smart.
He's working on mining out that expansion, in fact. Man, I'm so blown away. Just one little hold position, little drop there getting picked up or cleaned up in the back of the main base there. But yeah, Kev, you're right. He put those SCVs on hold position, and the Zerglings just didn't know what to do. They're like, they're on hold position. I can't fight them now.
How do you feel about that, Ben?
I think it's kind of silly.
Yeah, I think so too. When I saw that in the start, and sometimes people, like certainly some Koreans, and I think I watched Grubby stream once as well, and he defended the Nidus, putting probes on hold position. I thought, well, that's actually kind of cool, you know, it looks like a really skillful move. But like now everybody is doing it, and I just feel like it's kind of a bug in the AI. I don't think it should happen like that. It's very silly, and also allows like early game cheese strategies to be even better than they are. I'm not sure. Like in the start, I was a fan. I thought like, yeah, that creates something extra. But now I'm not sure. I got mixed feelings.
I mean, it is nice that you have a little thing like that that you can do when you make a mistake, when the lings get past, you know, but I don't know. It feels a little gimmicky to me.
Yeah. Forsen Ben is up to the hive right now, but he doesn't have a spire. Ooh. No, I thought for a second those were two Zerglings. Forsen still completely unaware of this base on the north side of this map, on the 12 o'clock position, and that's just going to be his downfall, Ben. Because other than that, he played a pretty good game, and I can understand if you are Forsen, you felt really good about this. You felt that this base was much later than your third base. Now Masa's even starting to drop mules over here. He's like, I want to keep this base a little bit longer. I've almost been mining it out.
When in fact, Masa's been on 4 bases and is actually on 4 bases as well before the Zerg player. So Forsen, he's in huge trouble, man. He's behind, like
he's
so
even behind in workers, not to mention this quadruple orbital.
He's going to be going up to Ultralisk Infestor.
But then again, Ben, if there is ever one comeback upgrade, it's going to be the adrenal glands. He's researching it right now, so...
so right you are, Kev. Oh, but no, that's not where you want your infestors. The siege tank's getting a couple good shots off. Great fungals, though.
Yeah, I don't think it was that
19 Marines got killed by that second fungal.
I think Forsen needed a fungal like that to even survive this push in the first place. A lot of Marines here. Beautiful micro so far by Terran. Beautiful fungal by Forsen.
If he can kill all the medevacs. No, fungal!
Well,
and he does, and again, one more time.
Masa brought like this one medevac back.
Wow. And Forsen actually makes the most of that, kills everything.
Sick. If you take a look at units lost resources so far, Ben, how can you not feel if you're Forsen that this game is yours to lose? Forsen only lost 3,900, Terran lost 6,400. These statistics, they should be the other way around.
Right now, Forsen's like, yep, way ahead, when in fact he's still actually behind. Like in every way, behind in workers, behind in army, surprisingly enough.
Upgrades, he's a little bit ahead, but not for long. Since we see 2-2, we can take another look at that fight, since there's nothing really happening right now. Of course, we're going to give you guys the live update as well, but Ben, take us away.
Yeah, it's just, well, like you said, the Marine's going to come in here and get fungaled very effectively, and with that, the medevac's also getting trapped.
I really like that one medevac is out of range. He's like, nah, I'll bring it back. It's like, nah, if my brother goes, I want to go too.
I will go down with the ship.
We will leave no man behind tonight.
Back into the game we go, where we can see that Masa has maxed out. Forsen's still at about 170 supply, and we're going to have one more huge Terran push. Forsen's got the Ultras out. I mean, he's got a pretty scary army, man. 8 Ultras, 7 Infestors, the rest are Zerglings.
We have a drop over here from Masa on the left top side of this map, or not even.
Nothing in position to deal with it, though. That base is going to die. Here we go, big fight in the middle of the map. Fungal's going down. Ultras going to try to carve a path through these tanks, and they're doing an okay job. Actually, a great job, as they will crush through.
Forsen is really outplaying Masa in this game. If only he was aware of this base on the north side of this map. He did finally end up losing his 4th base on the 9 o'clock position of this map. So despite winning the fight, Ben, you could say perhaps he is losing the war, because what are you doing with these Ultras? They're so low on HP. This is not so... Oh, I think
I just have to take out the Terran's only mining base and I can win.
No, that's not going to be the case. Wow, Forsen just lost 6 Ultras for nearly nothing. He takes out 1 siege tank, takes out the 2nd siege tank. He's going to try to overrun the Terran with a couple of Zerglings, but that's not going to be the case. He just lost 6 Ultras, Ben.
Right now, Forsen's thinking, how does he have so many units? He just doesn't know, and he's never going to know, Kev, not until he watches that replay. Masa still mining on that top base. He's even going to drop a couple of mules there now. And that income will spike up once more. Still have that hit squad over there on the left side of the map, and they're going to do good damage against these 2 Ultras.
3-3 is on the way as well for our Terran players, so that's definitely going to seal the deal. Even though Forsen has made some pretty impossible fights, but right now we can see the resource loss step is getting closer and closer. Nice fungal there. Takes out those Marines, keeps the Ultra alive. Oh, 2 Marines rallied Overlords over here. Bad day to be an Overlord. Oh, Forsen. Well, Ben, I do think that this is one of those things, if you watch the replay, this is never ever going to happen again.
I agree. I mean, he's going to kick himself for it, but he'll learn from it, and he'll be a better player because of it. Masa once more going to push out into the center of the map. He's only got a single tank in that army. And the medevac count, oh, never mind. It's really high. 10 medevacs out. So these infestors not going to be that terribly effective.
Well, we have 13 of them.
And he's going to need to use 100%
only
of
a single siege tank, Ben. Once more, here we go. Decent fungals to start off, and look at all the medevacs.
Oh, yeah, good fungals on those Medivacs, and wow, these Ultras are still trading effectively. More fungal going down. Kill the Medivacs, Forsen. If you can do that, then maybe. And he does manage to fungal a lot of them.
Almost, he's out of energy right now. A couple of Medivacs will survive. Very low on HP. Masa doesn't even care, Ben.
Only 3 Medivacs died, in fact.
And we're going to see the same thing once more. Forsen wins the fight, and then he's going to try to win the game. But look at all these infestors.
Infestors, that's the worst thing that could ever happen. Huge infestor losses. Ultras once more going to come crushing forward. Masa still ahead in supply in spite of every fight going.
This is like a deja vu. We have seen this exactly 3 minutes ago. Forsen clearly wins the fight, ends up sacrificing the rest of his army.
The clinical definition of insanity, Kev, is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
Wow, look at you.
Suffice it to say that Forsen is playing out of his mind.
Beautiful fungal once more, Ben, by Forsen. Once more, he's going to take out a lot of units. So probably once more, he's going to run into the natural and lose his units. No, this time he's not. Well, that's a pleasant surprise.
It's one Marine running from Ultras. I don't understand how a Marine can take more than one shot from an Ultra. I mean, look at this. It'd be like you and me fighting a Rhino and taking more than one tusk to the chest, right?
Oh, you mean the other way around? The Rhino
taking more than one punch?
Yeah. No way that Rhino can ever take a bitter punch.
That's true, man.
Masa nearly mined out this base on the north side. Poor Forsen. I think the only time he's ever going to scout this is when he actually wants to expand there. But I don't think he wants to do that yet because he has 3 more bases to go before he's there.
It'll take a while for him to mine out TalDaRim Altar. Forsen getting pretty close to equaling Masa in supply. Small drop here outside of Forsen's 3rd base. And a Hero Ultra will spot it.
Fungal! Infestor's kind of out of position. 2 Infestors fell already. 4 Infestors. Wow. Just kill all those Medivacs right now. 4 Infestors,
I'm really surprised that Forsen's winning all these fights. Like, I mean, this is a good Terran army. But of course, it doesn't have any tanks, which is problematic. So we've got a drop happening over here on the other side of the map in the midst of all this action.
Forsen once more wins the main fight though right now. Oh, Splitty wall is almost raised, not completely. Forsen is going to end up losing 2 of these Ultras, and this time he sort of backs off in time.
Great job there by Forsen cleaning up that drop in the midst of that action. Unfortunately, he lost the base on the left side. So one drop averted, the other drop does some pretty good damage, and Forsen now, I think, is in a position that he's not going to be able to recover from, Kev. Finally, he's down to 130 supply against 170.
Starting to feel the same way. We do still have quite a few Ultras, but the Terran is microing really well. He has all those Medivacs to keep those bio units alive. Forsen losing Ultras 1 by 1 right now. He's making additional Infestors, but well, the good thing is we don't really have to summon up this game.
Ironically, Forsen is expanding so close to his 1 ninja expand.
More good fungals by Forsen. He really made some amazing fungals throughout the entire course of this game.
He's had great engagements all game long. It's just...
Where's the army of the Terran? Terran has 171 supply, Ben. He has 11 Marauders and 20 Marines. That's kind of ironic.
He also has 13 Medivacs.
Yeah.
It's just like so much supply in Medivacs.
We have a drop going on in the main base right now as well. This was a drop that was earlier active on the left side of this map on the 9 o'clock position. A couple of those units will stay alive. Fungal? No, I don't think he wants to waste all his energy. He wastes a little bit of energy.
No, he will kill the Medivac.
Okay, then he wants to do it.
But, oh no!
No, Infestor is so slow, but this time he will get it.
That was probably not worth it. It was all the energy on 3 of those Infestors.
Yep. And Masa now moving out with a maxed out army. Forsen has to wonder where do all these freaking units come from.
If Forsen wins this fight, he's the best Zerg in the world.
With 1 Ultra, that's not possible.
He would need a lot of transfusion. And here we go. The Ultra is going to come crashing into the fight. Medivacs healing very well, but there's just not enough energy on these Infestors. That Ultra is going to stay alive for a little while longer.
Yep.
But Forsen says, this lag, it's the only reason that I lost.
Yes, it was absolutely nothing else. It had nothing to do with the fact that you outmined me for the basically since minute 3 in this game. And Masa takes this first map.
Seen the resources tab of that game.
Yeah, I should have. Yeah.
But we can't because it was a replay.
No.
We'll never know. I bet you it was substantially in favor of Masa.
I think it went like...
It's like... That game brought to you by Kingston HyperX. The Kingston HyperX TalDaRim Altar map
to remember.
Short commercial break, guys. In Game 2, Forsen versus Masa when we get back.